So let's start then. Um, so yesterday we have learned about arrow functions, object literals, and template strings, and promises and async await pattern. Okay. Today we will start with destructuring and rest period operator. Is also one of the most important topic, and you might find that most of the recent JavaScript developers use this feature most of the time. So let's see what is destructuring and rest period operator. Okay. So first, let's see destructuring. Have you guys heard about destructuring before? Anybody knows about destructuring? Hmm? No? Okay, no worries. Uh, yeah. So see, when we say destructuring, right? So in the name itself, it is saying that destructure. That means whatever is structured, okay, we need to destructure it. Means we need to basically uh, take out the data from that uh, structured data, or let's say structured object or structured array. Okay, arrays and objects are basically structured formatted data, right? So in from that you have to take out the details or values from it. Okay, so destructuring, as you can see, the destructuring will only be possible with objects and arrays itself, because they are the only ones which are structured. Okay, rest all like number, strings, these are not structured, they are just a value, scalar values. Okay, they are not structured things. Okay, so if you want to destructure anything, then you can destructure the data which is structured. Okay, so this is only possible with objects and arrays. Okay, so let's see how it is possible. Okay, so we let's say when we want to accept access any of the variable from any of the object. Okay, let's say when we say const pi equals to math dot pi. Okay, so math is what? Math is again a object, or it's a class, you can say. From that, what we are accessing is pi variable. Okay, this pi is a variable which is inside a math object. Okay, now if I want to access a pi, what I do? Math.pi, and then I basically assign it to a variable. Okay, then let's say if I again want to access any other variable, uh, const e equals to math dot e. Okay, now math has like a lot of variables defined over here. Like it has functions also: cos, sine, max, mean. Okay, these are functions, and there are some variables, there are some constants. Okay, so if I want to access e, then I will write e like this. Okay, and if I want to access a function, if I want to access a function, let's say sqrt. Okay, then you will do math dot sqrt. Okay, so sqrt is a function. Now sqrt is a function, but sqrt is a function, but still it is in the object itself, right? So yesterday we have seen how to write a function inside an object. Okay, so we can write a function inside an object by using key or function name. Okay, so you can basically access any function from an object itself. Okay, by using object dot the function name. Okay, so this way we are basically accessing each and every variable or function from your object. Okay, now as you can see, we are all these variables and functions we are accessing from the same object, which is nothing but math. Okay, now what if I can do this in a single line? Okay, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually taking out a variable or functions from one object. That means I'm actually destructuring that particular object, and I'm just picking out some things. Okay, but this thing in modern JavaScript, you can do this in a single line itself. Okay, how? See, math is an object, right? So I'll write const. Okay, since it's an object, so I'll write curly braces equals to math. Okay, math, since it's an object, so I'll write a curly braces before your equals to sign. Okay, now in this curly brace I can just pick whatever variables or functions I need from this object. Okay. Now, but I need pi, right? So I'll just comment this one so that there will not be any suggestion. But I want to pick a pi from this math object. What I have to do is you can just type pi. You will automatically get a suggestion because pi is inside this math object. Okay. So you can just write the variable name from it and you will get the value of pi. Okay. Similarly, if I want to access the e variable, you can just type e. Okay. If you want to access sqrt function, I can write sqrt. Okay. So all the things which are there available in your object, you can just destructure them. Here you can see now I'm just destructuring this entire object and picking some of its variable functions into like variables. Okay, so this is doing this and doing this is one and the same thing. Okay, here what we are doing is we are taking out each and every variable and function from the object, but here we are taking out all the objects and variable from an existing object in a single line itself. Okay, now if you want to print a value of pi, okay, let's say pi, okay, you'll obviously get the value as 3.14159. Okay, even if you do it like this or do it like this, you can get the value of pi as it is. Okay, just make sure the variable name, okay, this pi variable name should be same, which is defined inside math object. Okay, this key should be same. If it is capital, it should be capital. If it is small, it should be small. So key name should be same, exactly same. Okay, then only you will be able to access it. If I write pi in a small, then this will not work. Okay, you will not get anything. You will get undefined. Okay, so the key name should be exactly same. Okay, so whatever the key name which is used inside that object, you should basically get the value here. Okay, or access the key like this. Got it. This is called as destructure because the structured object we are destructuring it and we are basically taking out variables and functions from out of it. Okay. Obviously, function also we can destructure it. So if you want to call sqrt function, you can do that as well. Sqrt of let's say 9. Okay, square root of 9 is 3. So you get a 3. Got it. So this is called as destructuring. Got it, everyone? Understood what is destructuring is? Yes. Okay, great. This, sorry, I accidentally clicked. So this is basically possible with objects. Okay, so we'll see for objects first, then we'll see with arrays as well. Okay. Now, see, this is also possible if you are returning an object from a particular function or particular file as well. Okay, if you are returning an object or particular function or particular file, then you can also get destructure the values from that function as well, because function is returning an object. Then in that case, if you are calling a function on the right side of it, so function will return an object, and from that also you can destructure values here. Okay, so that we will see later on. But let's see what is the use of it. Or let's say if I'm declaring an object, how we can destructure that object. Okay, so first let's say I'm declaring a variable as student. Okay, equals to student will have a name. Let's say Ryan Amdal deta. It's like my name. Then let's say age. So let's say something like कुछ भी डाल देते हैं. Okay, and then let's say roll number. Okay, so 4. Okay, now if I just want to get the value of name from the student object. Okay, or just say name and roll number. So how can I do it? Now you tell me, how can I do it? So I can just write a curly brace here, and after that I can write student object. How can I get name and roll number here?
You need to mention name and roll number in between those curly braces.
Correct. Name, comma, roll number here. Right. So this way you can get the roll number and name from this object. Okay. So even if I assign a new student to this, then I will get a new value from this student object. Okay. So if I say log and name from a roll number, so you'll get the output for name and roll number here. See, name and roll. Okay. Now let's say I don't have any variable called as maths. Okay. So let's say I'm adding a variable here, maths colon 80. So let's say I have a marks in maths that's 80. Okay. But I don't have this variable. Okay. And let's say I have it for now, and I want to access this maths variable. Okay. How can I do it? I can just type comma maths, right? So I will get the value for maths here. I'll say 80. Okay. But what if this value doesn't exist? Then what will happen? Then what it will give you? Undefined, right? Because value doesn't exist, right? So you'll get undefined. Key doesn't exist, right? This maths key doesn't exist, so you'll get undefined. Okay. But what if some student has the marks and some student doesn't have the maths mark? Okay. They haven't attended the exam for math, but some student have attended exam for maths. Okay. So they have maths marks for maths, but some student don't have marks for maths. But if that student doesn't have marks for maths, then I need a default value for it. Okay. Let's say I need a default value. Then how can I get a default value? So to assign a default value, so you can just do equals to let's say 40. Okay. So even if this variable doesn't exist inside a student object, or this key doesn't exist inside a student object, then I'm assigning a 40 value to this. So if this doesn't exist, then I will get default value as 40. But if this key exists, maths colon 80, then the value which is existing will be taken. Okay, so you will get 80. Okay, so you can assign default value to a particular key. That key doesn't exist. Okay, in some cases key may exist, and some cases key may not exist. Okay, so if key doesn't exist, then you need a default value for that as well. Okay, so in that case you can use this. Okay, so assigning a default value. Okay, so you can assign a default value like this. Got it, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, good. So first write it down, then we'll see the next one.
How it will be printed 40?
How it will be printed 40.
Yeah.
If the value doesn't exist in this object, then the 40 will be printed.
Can you show on the console?
See, see, 40. Got it. See, if I haven't added maths object here, key here, right? And I'm assigning default value as 40. And I'm printing that maths value here. So you will get 40 here.
Okay.
I'm
Hmm.
I'm not able to see your screen properly. It's like I'm able
Yeah,
to see VS.
I'm also facing the same issues. I thought
Okay.
my network issue.
Oh, so you're not able to see the screen, or
Yeah,
No, your screen is frozen actually.
yeah.
frozen? Okay, okay. Let me just then reshare again. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. So are you able to see the screen changing?
yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. I thought that you guys were seeing it. So no issues. Okay. So see here. I'll explain again. So if you are assigning a default value and the key doesn't exist into this, then you will see default value as 40. Okay. But if key exists here, 80, then you will see the a value as 80.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Yeah. Now you try it out. Then we'll take the next one. One more thing. Let's say there is a huge variable inside this. Okay. Uh, let's say the roll number. Okay, roll number. I consider this as a huge key, like a long key. Okay, and when I try to access this key, like I will access it like this, but I want to use a shorter name to it. Okay, or let's say I want to rename that variable. Okay, when I access it. Okay, so instead of roll number, I want to access it as a RN. Okay, so instead of a roll number, I want to access it as a RN. Then in that case, what you can do is you can just change the variable name. How you can change the variable name? After roll number, okay, when you access it, okay, destructure it. After roll number, you can specify colon and variable name, let's say RN. Okay, so the value, the key will be taken as roll number from student. Okay, but it will be renamed as sorry, you renamed as RN. Okay, that means if you try to access roll number now, okay, so roll number variable doesn't exist because I have renamed it to RN. Okay, so you'll see roll number is not defined. Okay, but if you say RN, then you will see the value as 4. Okay, so even sometimes what happens is the key is long. Okay, and you don't want to use that long key. Then in that case, you can just rename the variable key towards some different variable name. Then you can use that variable name later. Okay, it's like signing, or let's say
Basically, it will act as an alias for
yes,
roll number.
alias. Yes, alias. Signing alias to existing key. Try this out.
Done.
Done. Is it done for everyone?
Yes.
Now, let's say I have a nested object. Okay, so I'll define a new variable here, student1. Okay, and inside this, let's say I have this maths variable, but it's inside, let's say marks object, and there is a marks object, and I'm defining maths as 80, and let's say physics as 70. Okay, now you want to access maths value, or let's say physics value. Okay, how can you access it? By destructuring it. Okay, by destructuring, how can you access it? Say student one here,
Maths.
marks.maths. Okay, that's not possible. Okay, you cannot write marks.
What you need to do is you need to write marks,
Hmm,
and then on the next line you can do marks dot math.
correct. Means there are two ways. Okay, if you want to destructure it, okay, first of all, destructure the marks. That means you will get entire marks object. Okay, so here if I print a marks, then I will get the entire marks object, and from this then you can get the value of physics. Okay, then you will see 70. Okay, but if you directly want to get only physics value, not the marks object, okay, or any object. Then in that case, you can do one more thing, like you can destructure this marks again, okay, const, and then यहाँ पे you can write uh, equals to marks, okay, and then here you can specify physics, okay, then you can get the value of physics. Okay, 70. Or else there is another way you can do it. You can do it in a single line as well. Okay, how? You have to maintain the structure. Okay, structure means what? See, physics is inside marks, right? So you have to write colon, curly brace, and then physics. So, okay, so here you can see I am extracting marks first. Okay, but this marks will not be considered as a new variable. Okay, I'm there is a maths and physics. So from this marks, I'm only extracting physics. Okay, so now you can directly write a physics subject here, and you will get the value of physics as 70. Okay, so this way you can also do. And if you just want if there is no variable and then I want to assign some default value, you can do the default value here as well. Okay, so in this case, if there is no physics, then by default 50 value will be printed. If there is a value, then 70 the value will be taken. So you can do like this as well. But in this case, there is no marks variable. Huh? Marks variable is actually destructured. So here you will see marks is not defined. Okay, because marks we haven't extracted out, we have just extracted out physics variable. Okay, so here whatever you are extracting will be only printed. Okay, got it? How to destructure one some nested object?
Yes.
Write it down, then I'll tell you though, like where you can use this and what is the use of this destructuring, what is the real life scenario for this.
Done.
Done. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's see one example. Okay, um, how we can use this restructuring for like some of the scenarios where it can be useful. Okay, so let's say I have a object const circle object. Okay, let's call it a circle at 1. Okay, equals to, and then I'm assigning some object, let's say name colon, let's say circle 1. Okay, and then I have its radius as well, let's say 4. Okay, so I have this object. Okay, now sorry. Now let's say I want to calculate the like area of this circle. Okay, so I'm writing a function const area equals to, okay, so I'll create a normal arrow function, arrow wala function. Okay, and in this, so if you want to calculate a um, like area of a circle, then you need a radius, right? So I'll write radius here. Okay, and then here I will say return. Okay, it's like pi r square, right? So we already have a factor pi, so I'll write pi into radius. Okay, so that's how I'm calculating an area. Now if I want to print console.log area, okay, of now I need to pass a radius, so I have a object circle one dot radius. Okay, so this will give me the area of circle, okay, which is 50 point something like this. Okay, so this I will fetch that. Okay, so we can see if I want to calculate the area of a circle, then I want to pass a radius of that circle. Okay, and then the area will be calculated. Okay, now if I want to use this same circle area function, okay, for various other circles, so I will use this area multiple times. Okay, let's say we have another circle, const circle 2, and then it has a uh, 6. Okay, and then I'll use the same function with circle 2 radius, then I'll get the area of that circle. Okay, now suppose I want to like I have written this area function 10 times, 50 times, let's say 100 times. Okay, so I'm using this area function 100 times. Okay, now the next requirement comes like I want to add name also, okay, in the area function which you are calculating. Okay, here I want to add a name, okay, name of the circle as well. Name I already have it in an object. Okay, I just want to print a name here. Okay, now what you need to do, what you will do, you will
Take,
add a new parameter here, right?
yeah,
First of
so
all,
take a object,
name,
yeah, name, and then
and
we
then
can destructure the object while calling that function.
correct. That thing you can do, but let's say if you don't have a destructuring, then in that case, what you will do, you will create write a name variable here, okay, and then you will use a name variable. Let's say area of dollar name colon, okay, and then dollar. I'm writing like this, okay. So here I'm specifying area of name colon this, okay, but I'm adding a new parameter here, right? I'm adding a new parameter. Let's say I add it at the first or at the end, whatever, wherever. Okay. But when I'm adding a new parameter here, okay, then uh, you need to add this that parameter like circle one dot name to all the functions where I have called area. Okay. Now it will be like troublesome. Okay. Now if you don't pass it, it will show you none. Okay. But here what you need to do is you have to call server circle one dot name. Okay, then here also you'll have to call circle two dot name. Okay, then you will get the output. Okay, now imagine if I have hundreds of area functions called like this. Are you going to do it for each and every area function where it is called? Okay, or like uh, yeah, you can do it, but there are like human errors you can do. Okay, and some you might miss some of the functions. Okay, so in that case, what can be the best solution for this? Okay, so best solution is like this I don't care what this function needs. Okay, that function needs area, that function sorry, that function needs name, that function needs radius, whatever. What I need to do is I'll just pass entire circle object. Okay, this area function will take care of whatever it needs. Okay, so it needs radius, use radius because I have a radius in circle object. Okay, if you need name, you can use name. Okay, so in that case, either I can use a circle here, like circle, something like this, and then I'll have to use circle dot name, then here a circle dot radius, circle dot radius. Now, this is just a one line, but imagine if this function is big, huge, okay, and you are using this radius variable, name variable multiple times. Okay, so like circle dot name, circle dot radius, you'll have to use that many times, right? So what we can do is we can use destructuring here. Okay, we are passing a circle object. So from this circle object, just destructure the data. Use curly braces. Okay, and inside this, just we need a radius, right? So the radius, comma, we need a name. Use name. Done. Okay. So whatever you need from this object, just get it and use it. Okay. Now see, you will get the output as area of circle 1, this area of circle 2. Okay, this is like equivalent to what we are doing here. Okay, whatever we are doing here, this is just equivalent to that. Here what we are doing is we are passing an object and we are destructuring that object. Okay, it's like the object is passed here, and from that object we are destructuring radius and name. Okay, now let's say tomorrow there is one more parameter into your circle object, and your manager asks you to like use that parameter and do some logic inside it. Okay, now you don't need to worry about the functions which are called. Okay, functions, they are called and they are passing the entire object. Okay, that object contains that key already. Okay, just get that key from here. So let's say tomorrow we have a new parameter, let's say val. Okay, then that val I can simply, I can add a val here. Okay, some value to it, and I can simply get this val value from here. Okay, sometimes it may happen that some of the object may contain this val key or may not contain this val key. So in that case we can use this default value. Okay, so let's say this circle doesn't have the radius. Okay, this circle doesn't have the radius. So in this case, this radius is going to be undefined, and then it's undefined, then it will become not a number. Okay, but in case if there is no radius, then I need a zero. Radius will be zero. Okay, then I will use equals to zero. Okay, I can assign a default value. So in that case, you will see the area of circle is zero. If you are not passing, if your circle object doesn't have radius, then by default the radius is considered as 0. If you want to change it to 2, you can change it. So by default the radius of the circle will be considered as 2. Okay, so this way you can like prevent duplicating your data or like your overwork. Okay, like you are calling this area function multiple times and you don't need to change it everywhere. Okay, just change the function and your job will be done. Okay, so you are basically reducing the redundancy. Okay, got it? How we can use the destructuring. This is just one of the case. Okay, there can be like a lot of other cases when you encounter any sort of problem, then in that case destructuring might help you. But is it understood how we can use destructuring in function parameters to get the values?
It's like that quark thing we have inside.
Pardon, Rajesh?
Like it's more or less like that quark we have in
Your voice is a bit low. I'm not able to hear you properly.
is it like the quarks we have in Python?
Is it like?
Quarks, quarks and half.
Uh, I'm not quite getting you. Can you come a bit
He
closer?
is he is talking about args and cogs in Python.
Args and cogs. Uh, yeah, you can say that, but I don't. As and like Python, I haven't done that args and cogs, but yeah, if it does the thing like this, then it may be okay. But I don't know about args and cogs. Okay, So you can basically say like we are just uh, taking out some variable from an object and we are using it. Okay. I think R's and cors is like we can pass as many parameters to them, right? And we can use those parameters. For that, I guess we have a arguments keyword in JavaScript. Okay. So I think if you are passing any parameters to a particular function, and if you want to use all those parameters, then we can use arguments keyword. Okay, there is a keyword called as arguments. Okay, which you can use it. Okay, in JavaScript, but that keyword will only work inside function. Okay, so if you are, let's say I have a function here, function fun1, and I'm passing a comma b, something like this parameter. And if I do console.log and arguments here, okay, and if I call this fun1 with 10 comma 20, okay, then this arguments will basically consist of 10 comma 20. Okay, so it's 10 comma 20. The arguments means I can pass any values. So if even if I don't pass anything here, okay, and if I'm passing, means I'm not taking any argument here, okay, and I'm passing a parameter to it, okay, then also I will be able to get these parameters using this arguments keyword. See, this arguments keyword you can use it to get the parameters which are passed to your function. Okay. Uh, I guess Vatsal, you were asking about how we can pass as many parameters as you want in your function, right? Yesterday, Vatsal or Sagar?
Yeah, Vatsal is asking for that.
Yeah. So you can use this arguments keyword. So even if you do, even if you don't have any parameters, then you can use this arguments keyword to get all those parameters which are passed to that function. Okay. So I'll keep this one. Yeah. So do it, then we'll see the next part of the restructuring. But I hope this is understood by everyone, right? Why we have used destructuring here. Is it done? Okay, good. Now, since we have seen how to destructure an object, now let's see how to destructure an array. Okay, so if you have an array, let's say array equals to 10, comma 20, comma 50, comma 50. Okay, array something like this. Now, if you want to get, let's say, first element, okay, how will you get it? You will write, generally you will write const first equals to array of 0. Okay, so this way you will get the first value of your array, which is 10. Okay, then if you want to get the second value, okay, you will do array second equals to 1. Okay, something like this. This way you can get the value. But what if I want to do it in a single line? Okay, we can do this using destructuring. Okay, how? Use const, and then since we are using an array destructuring, so you'll have to write square brackets equals to your array. Okay, then inside this array, you'll have to just what you can say, you'll have to uh, order means order आपको basically maintain रखना पड़ेगा. Okay, you'll have to maintain the order. Okay, so the first element, I want to get the first element, then I'll write first here. Then I want to get a second element, I'll do second here. I don't want third, fourth, and fifth element. Let's say I don't want third element, so I'll skip it. Okay, then if I want fourth element, so I'll say fourth here. Okay, let's say I don't want fifth element, I'll skip it. Okay, so this way we can restructure it, but the order will should be maintained. Okay, so the first element will like zero index element will come to the first variable. 20 second first element second element will go to second variable. Third element will be skipped. Fourth element will come to the fourth variable, and fifth element will also be skipped. Okay, you can check it out now. Log first, comma second, fourth. Okay. Now if you check, you'll get 10, 20, and 40. 30 is skipped and 50 is also skipped. Okay. So this way you can destructure an array. Destructuring an array is not that much helpful. Okay, maybe there are some scenarios where you can use it, but I haven't found any such scenario where I can use destructuring an array. But destructuring an object will be like very much useful, and you may find it useful when we will do some programs in Angular as well and in JavaScript as well, Node.js or anywhere. Okay, even when you do import statement, right? You import a particular file, right? And from that file, we import particular variable or object. So in that case, also we use destructuring symbol. Okay, we'll see that when we come to Angular. At that time, I will tell you how the destructuring happens when we use import statement. Okay, but is this understood? Like array destructuring?
Yes, but
Okay.
I have one doubt.
Yes.
Is it mandatory to provide comma after fourth on line number 62?
No, it's not mandatory. If you don't provide, that's also fine. Okay.
Okay, okay,
If
okay,
you just want to skip the rest of the elements, you can skip it.
okay, okay.
Then you will get all.
And what is the limit for this one?
What is the limit?
Like how many members we can write to? Can we
How many
say
numbers? As many numbers you have in an array.
right?
Okay. So if it's done, just let me know. Then, okay. Now let's see the next one, that is the rest spread operator, rest and spread operator. Okay. So let's create a new file, rest spread.js. Sir, please share previous lectures recordings video links today. I have already shared it, Pranati. Uh, I don't think you have accepted a classroom invite. Let me check. Hmm. You haven't accepted this invite. Okay, I'll share the link here. You can accept it by going to that link, and you will find all the materials there. Okay. Sure. Okay. Now let's see rest spread operator, rest and spread operator. Okay. Now, as we have seen, key like when we use when we write so this kind of symbol, okay, like a curly brace, and then we destructure an array or destructure an uh, object. Okay, then in that case we basically take out the elements from an object. Okay, the rest operator is similar to that, but in this case like we are basically rest means what, rest of the elements. Okay, so whatever is remaining is called as rest. Okay, so rest is also a similar kind of thing as restructuring, but it will take all the rest of the elements. Okay, let's see how. So, and yeah, one more thing, for rest and spread we use one symbol called as triple dots. Okay, this triple dots is used for rest and spread operator. Okay, for both of this we use the same symbol, but when it is called as rest and when it is called as spread, when we use these three dots uh, on the left hand side of your assignment operator, we call it as a rest operator, and when we use the three dot symbol on uh, right hand side of your symbol, or right hand side of your equals to symbol, then we call it as a spread operator. Okay, let's see how. So I have an array, so let's take this same array here. Okay, so this is the same array I'm using. Now let's say when I want to destructure it, I have done something like this. Okay, the first, okay, then comma second, okay, that is from an array. Okay, so I have done first, second, something like this. Okay, but what if I just want first and second element, but I want all of these elements like 30, 40, 50 to be taken into an another array. Okay, to be taken into an another array, then in that case what you can do is you can write comma and use the rest operator, that is three dots, and use a variable name, let's say rest of elements, like this. Okay, so what will happen is first will be the 10 will be in the first variable, 20 will be in the second variable, and rest of the elements like 30, 40, 50 will be taken into a rest of elements array or variable. Okay, this will be converted into a new array which will be taken into rest of elements. Okay, you can check it out. If I print log here, first second, let's say the first and second will give you the first and second value, but if I do log of rest of elements here, then you will get an array. I need to change it. See, first and second will give you 10 and 20, and the rest of elements will give you an array with 30, 40, 50. Okay, so here the rest of the elements, okay, are converted into a new array which is rest of elements and is assigned to a new variable rest of elements. That's why you will get an array here, and here you will get a value. All right, this is called as rest operator because Here what we are doing is rest of the elements we are taking into a new variable. Okay, and that variable basically will contain all the values which are remaining. Okay, but this rest operator should be at the last operator. Okay, this rest operator should be last operator. Why? Because let's say if I consider that I want 10 and 20 and 30 40 to be another and 50 to be an another element, this can be possible. Okay, if I write fifth like this, okay, then see, rest operator, what it does is first and second will be like skipped because they are taken into a variable, but rest operator, what it will do, it will take all of these elements. Then what will remain in the fifth operator, fifth variable? What should go in the fifth variable? Okay, so that's the reason you cannot keep variable after rest operator. Okay, so rest operator should be at the end. Got it? Understood?
Where it will be used?
This is like you want to split, like not to split, but spray like taking out rest of the elements from an array. It might not be that much useful because personally I haven't used this, but yeah, rest of the elements of an object, okay, that is very much useful. Okay, in case of array, I don't find any particular scenario or problem or solution for this, but yeah, this can be useful for object. I will tell you how we can use it for object, but yeah, even if you want to do it for array, you can do it like this. Okay, I don't have any particular real life scenario for this because I haven't used this for rest of the elements of an array somewhere before.
If in an interview, if asked what will be the use of spread operator, then what
Spread
you should
operator, spread is a different operator. Okay, this is a rest operator.
yeah, the rest
Okay.
operator.
Yeah, so you can say like from an array, if I want to get like if just want to get some values, first 4 5 values and rest of the elements into a new array, then you can use the rest operator. That's just explanation, but if you need an real life example, now I don't have it for now. Okay, because I couldn't find
Okay,
any
fine.
real life example for this. Okay, yeah, but if you want to use it for object, then I can tell you. So let's see for an object. Okay, so if I have an object here, let's say user equals to, okay, and I'm using, let's say, um, val colon 10, then name colon my name, okay, and then I'm using, let's say, roll number colon say 3, okay, and some more variable, let's say val var or say age, or let's say skip it. Okay, so I have these variables. Okay, now I want to see, this is a mix of a lot of things. Okay, val cannot be considered as a user variable, but this object contains a val variable. Okay, I don't want this val variable, but I want rest of the elements to be like this, can be a part of particular object. Okay, so let's say I want this to be into a new object, uh, let's say person object. Okay, so what we can do is we can use rest operator here. Okay, so I can just take out val here, so val will be a separate one, okay, from your user object obviously. Okay, val will be a separate one, and rest of the elements can be considered as a variable here. Okay, person variable. Okay, so this person can be considered as a new object, okay, which will have name and age, name and roll number. Okay, so if you have some, like say, a dirty data into an object, okay, and you want to remove that dirty data, or you just want to require data, then in that case you can use this rest operator to remove rest of the data, and the rest of the data which is valid to you, we can put it into a variable. Okay, so this can be considered as a like real in real life scenario, you can use this kind of stuff because the objects which are coming from the backend, they can be like, we can have a extra data as well. Okay, but we know don't need that extra data. We just need a particular data out of it. Then you can remove that data and just use the rest of the data as a separate object. Okay, or you can just use that variables as a different variable, and then rest of the variables you can use that as a separate object. Okay, so this is a rest operator. You can use it in a new object. Okay, got it?
Yes.
Okay. But again, in this case also, the rest operator should be at the end, huh? Because after this, you cannot add anything. So after this, if I specify roll number, then it is not possible, because rest means rest of the elements, right? So rest of the elements are means, if I omit this val, then rest of the elements are taken into person object. Then you cannot take any other variable from then after this. Okay, but yeah, if you want to like take out roll number and val and name into a person object, that you can do. You can just take roll number here, and rest of the elements like val and name can be taken into person object. So that we can do. Okay, because we have a keys here, so based on keys we can do it. That is not possible with array in arrays, because array has indexes, and this is not possible here. But yeah, with the object we have keys, so we can take out the keys that we want, and rest of the elements we can put it in a separate variable. I can keep this in a like here, so it can be, you can understand here. So although the val is at the end, I'm taking it out first, and then the rest of the elements into a person. Yes. You want to ask me?
Yeah. If from the array we want to fetch 40 from the rest of elements, so how can we
Yeah.
do that?
So rest of elements is an array, right? So 30, 40, 50. So for 40 will be like a at first index number one. So you can take out like this. See, it's an array, right? So it's at zeroth index you have 30. At first index you have 40. So if you write one, so you'll get 40.
Okay, whatever.
So in when you use a rest operator now, the rest of the elements, when you are using it in an array, the rest of the elements will be converted into an array, even though it is a single element as well. Okay. So let's say if I am using third and fourth here. Okay. Now only one element is remaining. Only one element is remaining. So that element, like 50, that element will also be considered as an array. Okay. So you can see that 50 is also an array. Okay, so rest means what? Key, whatever we are, whatever is the rest of the elements are, will be converted into a proper type. Okay, means if it is an array, then rest of the elements will be converted into an array. If it is an object, then rest of the element will be converted into an object. Okay, so the rest will always refer to the type you are using, like array or object. Okay, so we are taking rest of the elements from an array, then this will be an array. If you're taking rest of the elements from an object, then this will be an object. Okay.
So we can use it when we are passing the data to the backend, right?
When we are passing a data to a
To the
backend,
to the REST API or something. In a body, we can use a spread operator if provided.
that's a spread operator. That's not
Yes.
a rest operator. I'm coming to the spread operator. So
Hmm.
what you are telling is the spread operator. We can use spread
Okay.
operator to spread the elements, and then we can pass it to.
And we can use the REST operator in the function also, right? Like when we don't know how many parameters are going to be passed into the function.
function parameters you are saying?
Yeah.
This one? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that there also you can use it. Okay. Or else just now I have explained before as well. Like you can use arguments keyword as well. So if you don't have any parameters, in that case you can use arguments keyword as well. So even if there is no parameter for this function and you are passing the parameters to the function, those parameters will be considered here by using arguments keyword. There is a special keyword called as arguments which you can use it over here.
Mhm.
So I think you were not there at that time. See, when I
No.
did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this
I'm talking about this one. I've sent that code.
this one. This also we can use it. Correct.
Like it will return as an array.
Yeah. This will return as an array. Correct. See, this also we can use it. So this is like a rest of the element itself. Okay. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will be considered as the rest of the elements. Okay. And in this case, also we can do one thing. Let's say first parameter, I want to write it as a first. Then first one will be taken into first, and the 2, 3 will 4 will be converted into an array, and that will be taken like this. Okay. So you can write log here and first. Like this. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is like a set timeout function. Remember set timeout function which we have used. The set timeout function basically accepts first parameter as a handler, second as a timer, and the rest of the elements are arguments which can be passed to that function, handler function. Okay. So yeah, rest operator can be used here. So yeah, it's a good example. मच्छर खाते हैं ना.
तो झोपेत मूड नाही येत हे ऐकताना मला थोडं ऐकूसं वाटतं म्हणून बसले. मला नोट दे शिकवा.
And yes, is it done?
This is rest or spread.
Which one?
I've sent that code in the chat just now.
This is spread.
Okay.
This is spread. See, I just like a few minutes before I told you, when you use dot operator on the left hand side of your assignment, okay, it's called as rest operator. And when you use the same three dots on the right hand side of your assignment operator, it's called as spread operator.
Okay.
Here you are using three dots on the right hand side of your assignment operator. So it's called a spread. See, we are actually spreading here. This array is spread here, right? So let's see spread operator. Yeah,
Didn't get that.
you can.
Didn't get that.
I couldn't get you, Sagar. Hello.
Didn't get that. Means left side and right side.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see the spread operator. Okay, we already got a glimpse of it. Spread operator. Okay. Now, as I told you, when you use the same three dots on the right hand side of your operator, it is called as spread operator. Okay, the spread operator can be used to like copy an array, or copy an object, okay, or create a new object and assign some values to that object, or like change some keys to that object. Okay, let's see an example. So I have this rest of elements as an array. Okay, this is also an array. Just now we have seen it here, like 30, 40, 50. Okay, now let's say I want to create a copy of this array. Okay, copy of array. Okay. Now, if I directly assign rest of elements to this copy array, okay, what will happen here? Is it a copy, or is it a like we are just assigning a reference of rest of elements to copy of array?
The reference.
Reference. Okay, it is a, we are assigning a reference. Okay, like yesterday or the day before yesterday only I told you that when you assign a value to a particular variable, it is nothing but a assigned by reference. Okay, you want to check it, you can check it. Let's say rest of elements and copy of array, right? So if I print both of this, okay, rest of elements, both of this has 30, 40, 40, 50, 30, 40, 50. Okay, now what I will do is I will just change the value of copy of array. Okay, I'll do a copy of 1 to, let's say, 50. Okay, it doesn't have, say 60, let's say 60. Okay, now a value should change on copy array itself, right? It shouldn't change on the rest of elements. If I'm assigning by a copy, okay, if a copy is assigned, then the value of rest of elements shouldn't change. But when you see this, or when you run this, you will see that value of rest of elements is also changed. See, first it was 30, 40, 50, now it is 30, 60, 50, both of them. Okay, obviously I'm changing for copy of array, but the value of rest of elements is also changed. That's because we have assigned a reference of rest of elements to copy of array. So when you are assigning a reference, that means both are pointing to a same array. Both are pointing to same array. So even if I change value of any of this element, like copy of array or rest of element, both will get affected because they are both are pointing to the same object or same array. Okay, so that means we are not creating a copy. Okay, so if you want to create a copy, okay, then how we can do it? We can use spread operator. Okay, there are various other ways as well, like you can use array dot split, splice or slice as well, or you can use array dot filter method as well, array dot map function as well, because they are actually returning a new array. Okay, so in that case the reference is also different, that means it's a copy itself. Okay, so yeah, but there is a like quickest way is using, let's say, const copy of array. I'll comment this one, copy of array equals to, I want to copy the rest of elements, right? And it is an array, so I'll write an array symbol and spread your rest of elements. So in this array, so in this square brackets, I'm spreading all the elements of an array. So this element has 30, 40, 50. So all 30, 40, 50 will be spread inside this array. That's why we are wrapping it inside a square bracket. Okay, this is important. Okay, you have to wrap it inside a square bracket. If you don't wrap it, then it is not a spread. Okay, those elements will not be spread. So, okay, so you need to wrap it inside a square bracket. Then in that case, this will create a copy. Okay, now if I do the same things here, okay, and if I do the same things like rest of elements, now you print it first, then copy of array. Okay, I'll just comment this one first. Okay, both of them first will have 30, 40, 50. Okay, both of them have 30, 40, 50. Okay, but they are copy now. Okay, you want to check, you can just uncomment this one. You will see only copy of array is changed, not rest of elements is changed. See, rest of element is still same, copy of array is changed. Okay, that means we have actually created a copy of array. Got it? Got it, everyone? How we can use a spread operator to create a copy? Okay, we
So,
can,
so this will be a deep copy or shallow copy?
it's a shallow copy. Okay,
Okay.
it's a shallow copy. Deep copy will not happen. Okay, so let's say you have a multi-dimensional array, two-dimensional array. Okay, then in that case, the the first level or first dimension or first level of array will be created as a copy. The inner array is not copied. Okay, it is not copied. It is actually inside that array itself. Okay,
Hmm.
so the reference of that inner array will remain same. What
Okay.
we are doing is, see, we are assigning a new array here, right? That means we are creating a new reference, new array itself, right? When we write a square bracket here, we are creating a new array itself, but the array inside rest of elements, it is not changed. The reference of it is same, right? So that's why the deep copy is not created. It is a shallow copy instead. Okay, if you want to create a deep copy, then you will have to go to that level. Okay, means you will have to go to inner level, then you will have to do one more copy of that inner array as well. Okay, or else there are libraries for that. Okay, there is a library called as immutable JS or uh, Lodash. Okay, which can give you which can actually create a deep copy of your entire array of object. Okay, but this is like a shallow copy. Yeah? This is not a uh, deep copy. I will mention it here. Shallow copy.
REST and spreads are interrelated to each other.
Uh, you can say because they are using the same operator, three dots. Okay, so it's not like actually I have used this rest of elements from the rest operator, but I can use
Yes.
this array as well. Okay, any array I can use. It's not like the rest of the elements which I have taken, I can use it for spread. Okay, so I can use uh,
Actually, I'm not able to understand the difference between and spread actually, but only difference is that it's the spread operator. It's in a square bracket. That's it.
uh, see, spread operator is used on the right hand side and rest operator is used on the left hand side. When you use rest operator, the meaning of rest operator is like that whatever is remaining, okay, or whatever is rest will be taken into that variable. Okay, and when we say spread, okay, so whatever is in that array, okay, will be spread into a new array. Okay, so here I'm creating a new array. When I write a square bracket, that means I'm creating a new array. But this rest of elements is also an array. Okay. So whatever inside that array will be spread here. Okay. Just like I'm spreading like this 30, comma 40, comma 50. So this array is spread here.
Okay, you are talking about the right means it's a right to the equal to operator.
Yes.
Correct.
Right of this equal to operator. Assignment operator is equal to operator. Right? I actually told you about assignment operator, but it's the same equal to operator.
So
Yeah.
now I've sent that code, right?
Yes.
So what this is creating a separate copy, but as per the logic that you previously showed us for
Mhm.
the array,
Mhm.
this if I'm assigning b equals to 20, then a should also be converted to 20 only, right?
No. See, when you are doing b equals to 20, right?
Hmm.
This 20 is a scalar value, right? Scalar value means that there will be a new memory is allocated for 20, right? And that 20 new memory is assigned to that 20's reference is assigned to b. Okay. So
Okay.
actually, when you say b equals to 20, the relation between b and a, which we have created on this line, okay,
Hmm.
is broken.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, on the third line.
Okay. So this will also be a no. This is not a copy, right?
This is not a copy. This is actually we are assigning a new value to the b. Okay.
Okay.
Here we are assigning a new value. Here, when you are saying b equals to a, that means b and a's reference are same. Okay. That means both a and b are pointing to
The same memory address.
10 memory address of where 10 is stored. Okay.
Okay.
But when you say b equals to 20, that means the 20 value is a scalar value and which is value which is newly created
New.
in the memory,
Okay.
which will have a new reference and that reference is assigned to b. That
So
means
that
you're
so
storing.
so so this logic does not apply to arrays.
Yeah, this basically will not apply to an array, because when you say like this, okay, uh, the same example. Let's say
I'm
you have
I'm
a same
talking about the above one, that one you have commented.
this one, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So here, see, when you say copy of array equals to rest of elements, right?
Hmm.
So rest of elements, what we are doing, we are not assigning a new value. This is an existing value, right?
Right.
This array is an existing value which is stored into the memory. Okay. And when we
Okay.
are assigning to a separate variable, what we are doing is we are actually assigning a reference of this to a copy of array.
Okay.
Here also we are assigning a reference of 20 to b, but reference of 20 is different,
Okay.
right? When you say b equals to a, that means a's reference is copied to b. But when you see b equals to 20, that means b's reference is copied to b.
Okay.
Okay, 20's reference is copied to b, right? So
Hmm.
the when b and b was pointing to the same element which a was pointing, the link between them is broken here.
Okay.
So when b was pointing to 10, the memory location of 10, now it is pointing to memory location of 20. Okay, so that's the
Okay.
reason a's value will remain same 10, but b's value will be
Okay. Okay. And can you please repeat the concept of shallow copy and deep copy?
shallow copy and deep copy. Okay, let me take an example. Okay, first complete this. I'll explain it with you with
Okay.
an
Okay.
object. Okay. Array I cannot explain because array will make it confusing. So I'll make a explain it with you with object. So first complete this, then I will tell you. Then we'll see the rest of spread operator in object, and then I will explain. And one more thing. Okay, if you are creating a copy of this, okay, using spread operator, you can do a lot more thing than this. Okay, the what do I mean by this is, let's say I'm creating an array. Let's say array one equals to, I'm spreading this rest of elements. Okay, dot 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 rest of elements. But what if I want to add some more elements into it? Okay, let's say I want to add uh, 70 here. So I'll say 70. Okay, and after this also I want to add 100. I can do 100. If I want to add 120, I can do 120. So what will happen here is 70 will be first element, rest of element will be spread here. That means rest of elements has 30, 40, 50. That means 70 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50, after that 100, and after that 120. That means you can spread an array inside an array, and you can add more elements to that array as well. Okay, so if you print the value of this array 1, you will see 70, 30, 40, 50, 100, and 120. Okay, so you can spread in between as well. And one more thing you can do is you can spread multiple arrays as well. Okay, that means let's say you have two arrays here. Okay, one I will create one more array here. Let's say 130 comma 140. Okay, something like this. And I want to create a new array, const array 3 equals to, okay, I want to concatenate two arrays, or let's say combine two arrays. I'll just choose dot 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 rest of the elements comma dot 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 array 2. So what will happen in this case is, first rest of elements will be spread, then array 2 will be spread. That means 30, 40, 50 will come first, and then 130 and 140 will come. Okay. In this case, if I do array 3 here, so I'll get 30, 40, 50 first, then 130 and 140. If you want 130 and 140 first, then 30, 40, 50, just reverse it, like put array 2 first, then rest of elements. Then you will get 130, 40, 140 first, and 30, 40, 50. And if you want to add some elements in between or after that, you can do that. Okay, so you can combine multiple arrays as well. Okay, and you can add after spreading or before spreading, you can add elements into that array. Okay, got it? Understood this?
Sir,
Yes.
I'm sorry I'm asking out of context. Like, how do we print the memory address of any variable?
Memory address
A hash map or something.
of an array, right? Of an element variable,
Array or element.
a variable.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Let me check. Even I'm not sure about it. JavaScript.
That is not allowed in JavaScript.
I guess yes. Like, because I haven't seen that or I haven't done that kind of thing. So let's check if it is available. Then we can see if it's not done. Then JavaScript memory address of object. Yeah. See, it is already mentioned here. Basically, JavaScript implementations are only standardized in so much that they follow ECMA specification. The intricacies of memory storage could differ by browser and are not made accessible to JS. So you may that means you cannot access the memory of an object. Okay. In JavaScript, you cannot access memory of an object. Is it done? Shall we move on to the object? Spreading in object. Okay. Okay. So when I let's say when I want to spread an object, let's say I have this object person, okay, and I want to create a new copy of this object, okay, you can again use spread operator, okay. So let's say const person one equals to I want to create a copy dot 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 person. Okay. This will create an entirely a new copy of your object. Okay. See, we are actually assigning a new object. When we say curly braces to person one, that means a new reference is created for this, and the values which are there in the person object, it will be spread here. And you will see when you do console log, okay, the person one will be printed as the name and roll number which has it. Okay. Now here also what we can do is we can add some extra values as well. Okay, let's say this person doesn't has age, right? So it has roll number and name. So if I want to add, when I copy this person to a person one, I want to add age as well. So what I will do, I will add age here. I'll say 25. So that age will be added as a new key to this person one object. It will not be in the person, but it will be in the person one, because we are creating a copy for person one. Okay, person one will remain as it is. See, person one will remain as it is. Person will remain as it is. Person will have age as 25 because I have added a new value. But here you can do one more thing. That is, you can change existing keys value as well. Okay, what does this mean is like if I have a name and roll number existing in object, okay, and I want to change the name, okay, I can change it. I can do name colon uh, xyz something like this. Then what will happen is person one person will have a Pranit name, but person one will have name as xyz. It will be overridden. Okay, see, person one will have overridden value. Okay. So this way you can create a copy of object. You can obviously add a new key to that object, or you can override the key of an object as well. Okay, got it? Spread operator in object. Understood? Yes or no? Yes. Am I audible? Oh,
Yes, yes.
okay. So write it down. Then I'll tell you what is shallow copy and deep copy. Just create a just for testing purpose. I'll create an object. Is it done? Don't write this. Okay, I have written this for just for. Write till this one. Is it done?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. See, now see what I have done is I have created a new object here. It has a nested object. Okay, marks. Okay. So when I create a copy of this person two, okay, and I'm creating a copy of person two, and I'm assigning it to a person three. So here what I'm doing is I'm creating a new object here when I use a curly brace, and inside that I'm spreading person two. Okay. When I spread a person two, the entire object will be spread here. Okay, but the reference of marks, okay, this object, this is not spread, this is actually like marks with object as it is. Okay, now when you create a copy like this copy is called as shallow copy. Why shallow copy? Because this entire object is spread here but not this marks object. Okay, this marks object is like as it is there itself in the marks. Okay, we can verify this. What I will do is I will just change the value of marks of person 3. Okay, let's say person 3 dot marks dot let's say physics equals 80. So if I do 80, okay, and let's say I do one more change, person 3 dot whole number, okay, to let's say it's 5 now, so I'll do 6. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm changing this roll number and I'm changing physics. I'm changing the first level value and I'm changing second level value as well. Now, what will happen is when you do this, okay, person in person two will like will have a roll number as 5. Person 3 will have roll number as 6. But when you check physics value, okay, it will be changed for both of them. Okay, we'll see it. See, this is person 1, okay, which has roll number 5, and this person 2 roll number 6. So the roll number is same. Okay, but when you check the value of physics, see, it has changed to 80. Person 1 has 7, was having a 75 value, right? It was 75, but both of them has been changed to 80. Though roll number was there like 5, but here it was 6. But for the nested object, the value got changed. Why? Because this was not copied. This marks object, okay, this entire marks object is not copied. It is like the reference is same for both of them. Because when you create a spread of this, okay, it will just what we are doing is we are creating a new object here, right? So when you create a new object, the new reference is assigned to person 3. That's why this is, we call this as a copy, okay. But inside this, when we have a nested object, this is not a copy. This reference is same in this person 3 as well. Person 3's marks is pointing to the same object itself, okay. That's why the value is changed for a nested object, okay. And that's the reason it's called as shallow copy. Shallow copy means what? Only the first level is copied. The next inside level or nested levels are not copied, okay. And if you want to create a copy of marks as well, okay, if you want to create a copy of marks as well, okay, so in that case what you can do is you can write a comma here and override your marks key, okay. I'll override marks key here, and here also I will create a new object, okay. And this object will contain person 2 dot marks. Yeah, okay. Sorry, here I am spreading it. I need to spread the marks object. So here person 2 dot marks, I'm spreading it here, okay. So I'm creating a new object for marks, okay. I'm basically overriding the marks key, and here I'm creating a new object, and inside that I'm spreading marks object, okay. Marks is exist in person 2. That's why I need to write person 2 dot marks, but this should be spread. So I'm doing this. So when you do this, we are actually creating a second level copy, okay. So here the first level copy is created, but for marks the another copy is created here, okay. So here the new reference is created. So when you see this, then the value of person 2 physics marks will remain as it is. Only the person 3 physics marks will change. See, the roll number is same, okay. See, physics marks are 75 and here physics marks are 80, okay. So that way you can create a like inside level copies as well. But this is but when you have a nested objects, okay, you have a 5 level object, 6 level objects, then basically you'll have to do that level, that inside till that level, okay. But this is not possible every time, right? So for that we have a libraries for that. You can use immutable js, okay. Immutable js libraries there, which can create a and deep copy, even if it is like 10 level, 100 level, whatever, okay. Whatever level we have for any object, so till that level it will create a copy, okay. So you can use immutable js, okay, or else you can use lodash as well. Lodash is a heavy library, okay. It has a lot of other features as well. So instead of that, I will recommend using immutable js when you want to create a deep level copy, okay. Got it, everyone?
Yes.
This is called as shallow copy. When you just do uh, stuff, or let's say first level copy, and this is second level copy. First level copy is equivalent to shallow. So everyone understood rest, spread, operator, destructuring. This is important topic because most of the time you will use destructuring, rest, spread, operator, okay. So you should know what this these operators do. This was introduced in like in new after ES6, but these are like got many developers. Sorry.
Sir, I have sent one piece of code.
Yeah.
In that, even after I am mutating the value of maths, it
Mhm.
is not mutating in, I mean, original object.
Person one.
Yeah,
This one.
in person one. Yes.
This one.
Yes. This is the output.
Uh, I'll rename person. I'll comment my call. So here you are saying person one name, age, marks,
Yes.
and you are creating a copy of person one into person three, and then you are printing person one. Here person three value is changed, right? It should be
Yeah.
same,
So, okay.
but
Okay.
person one is also changed. You haven't printed person one after this.
Right, right, right.
Okay, you have only
Right, right.
printed person one before.
Correct. Yes, yes.
Yes.
My bad. Yeah.
So is it done for everyone?
We are done.
What about others? Rajesh, Pranati, Johara, Priyanka, Balaji, Supriya. Yeah. I'll wait. You guys should also speak up because I don't know. I will not know whether you will understand it or not. I'll just keep on going. So, done? Okay, cool. Okay, good. Now here actually we have come like covered most of the modern JavaScript features, okay, which can be like helpful and which can be used in a daily life of your JavaScript. Okay. Um, so let's start now Angular. Okay, we already covered three lectures for this. Okay, So let's start Angular. Okay, I'll just create an Angular project. How I'll say tell you how to create an Angular project. We are not going deep into that today. Okay. Next in the next lecture, I will tell you how the Angular project is created and what is the directory structure of Angular application and what each folder or file contains. Okay, that I will tell you in the next lecture. Okay, but today we'll just see how to create an Angular application. Okay, and as I told you from the in the first lecture itself that what we are going to do is we are not going to learn each and every topic, and for each and every topic we are going to create a new project itself. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to learn Angular by creating a project itself. Okay, so we'll create a project and let's say e-commerce based project, and we will continue that project and we will learn the topics by implementing the topics into the project itself. Okay, so we will get a hands-on experience on like how we can implement those topics or those concepts which are there in Angular directly into the project. Okay, so we'll implement a project from start to end. Okay, and at the end of the course as well, when the course is completed, okay, I will take 1 or 2 lectures where I will uh, personally will do a project from start to end. Okay, you don't have to do anything. I'll just tell you how you can start a project from the scratch, and you can create a project by using some command line tools, and you can there you can also use Angular material and all those things. There also I will show you how we can use it, and we'll just create we will integrate your backend application. There will be a small backend application which is demo application. We will use it for our purpose, and there also we will see how we can implement login, registration flow, all that stuff. Okay. So that will be at the end of the course, but till then we will be creating a project and we will continuing that project itself. Okay, so let's start by creating a project. So how will you create a project? So first of all, you need Angular installed on your machine. Okay, to install an Angular, first thing you need to do is install Node.js first. Okay, so install Node.js. The current stable version is 16.17.0. Okay, so install this version. Don't install the current version because it's a current version, you can say, which is not a stable one. Okay, so don't install this version. You install this one. Okay, 16.17.0. Okay, so you can just select your operating system and then download it. Installation is just plain steps. Okay, just follow whatever steps are there. Don't need to select or deselect anything. Okay, just follow the steps. Okay, even if you want to select anything, just select it and go on. Okay. So once the Node.js is installed, okay, the next thing is you need to install Angular first. Okay, so when you install Node.js, okay, just open a terminal and just type node space hyphen hyphen version. If you see the version, that means your command is working, node command is working properly. Along with node, you will get npm command as well. Npm is a node package manager command. If you do npm hyphen hyphen version, then you should get a npm version. If you are getting npm version, that means you can run your npm command successfully. Okay. Now, if you are able to run npm command, that means you can install any package or any node package into your application. Okay. Now, Angular itself is a node package. Okay, it has a lot of node packages. So first of all, we need to install Angular CLI. Okay, we are not installing Angular framework. We are installing Angular CLI. Okay, Angular CLI is nothing but a command line interface. Okay, command line interface is like command line tool that you will get it. Okay, so this node npm, these are command line tool itself. Okay, when we write a node command, npm command, these are command line tools. Okay, so when you install Angular as a CLI, so you will get one command called as ng command. That ng is nothing but command line tool itself. Okay, that command line tool you can access it anywhere when you install it. Okay, now to install Angular, what you need to do is npm. Okay, I is for install, or you can type install as well. Okay, that's totally fine. Okay, if you want to write it in short, just write I. Okay, npm install. And since we want Angular to be accessible globally, okay, globally in the sense, okay, I want to access that Angular command anywhere in my system. Okay, whether I'm accessing from my current folder or some another folder, or so let's say from another drive. Okay, I should be able to access that command. So for that purpose, your Angular should be installed globally. Okay, so you'll use -g. -g is for global. And to install Angular, you can write @Angular/CLI. Okay, we are installing CLI. We are not installing Angular framework. We are installing Angular CLI. Okay, using Angular CLI, we will create a project. Okay, which is Angular framework project. Okay, so let's install it. I think the now sometimes when you install Angular CLI, okay, using npm, or even you install anything globally, you will get sometimes get an error like this e-access error. Okay, e-access error means that you don't have permission to install anything. Okay, you can see e-access permission denied. Okay, that means you are not able to install Angular by a normal user. Okay, so you'll have to uh, type this command using administrative rights. Okay, so if you are on Windows, open your command prompt using administrator rights. Okay, if you are on Linux or Mac, just before npm type sudo. Okay, so sudo will basically open the root user, and it will ask you for the password. Type in your password and hit enter. Once you do this, your Angular CLI will be installed successfully. Okay, and once it is installed, how you can check whether your Angular is installed properly or not? You can just check with that ng command. So as I told you, when you install Angular, you will get an ng command line tool. So Angular has this ng2 command line tool. You can use ng space hyphen version, hyphen version, or simply version. It's an ng version. So when you type ng version, okay, so when you type ng version, you will see the Angular CLI version as 14.1.3. Okay, now current Angular version is 14 only, so you will get the current version itself because I have just installed Angular. Okay, just installed Angular and you just update it. When you write install, it will update also. Okay, so now Node.js version, package manager version, and your operating system, and the package build tools. Okay, so these are the some tools. So you will see 14.1.3. This is the latest version, latest Angular version. So you should see this version when you type ng space a version. Okay, so do this, and if you are able to do this, then we will create a project. Let me create a project, then you can write. Okay, now if you want to create a project from for an Angular, okay, so first of all, I will go to my folder. There I will create a project. So I'll go to say the Angular projects. I'll clear this out first. And I think I have a store one. Okay. Okay. So here I will create a project. I'll name it as store. Okay. So when you want to create a project, you'll write ng and write new after this. New and the project name. Okay. So let's say my project name is store. Okay, so I'm writing my project name as store. So when you write it, hit enter. Now it will ask you some questions. Okay, would you like to add Angular routing? Select no. Okay, why no? Because right now we are not concerned about routing. Okay, we'll come to the routing part. That time we will add routing, but right now we don't need routing. Okay, so just select no and hit enter. Then it will ask you which style sheet format would you like to use. So either you can select CSS, SCSS, SAS, LESS, whatever you are using. I will select SCSS because we will be using Bootstrap later on. So in that case, Bootstrap, we will use Bootstrap SCSS. Okay. So then I generally select SCSS because SCSS is like a programming tool for CSS. So you can use SCSS and SCSS, and then it will create some folders, files, and something like that. And then it will install all the packages related to your Angular application. Okay. Once this is done, then this will stop and you will come back to your own step. Okay. This is going to take some time because it is installing all those packages. Okay, it depends on your internet speed as well. Okay. So till this is done, just install Angular. Okay, I'll type in those commands here. Okay, if you forgot those commands, so I'll type in those commands here: npm I or install, then -g for global @angular /cli to install Angular globally. Okay, and to create a new project or to check the version of Angular, you can type ng space version. And to create a new project, type ng new and your project name, which is I'm writing it as a store. Okay, so you can use this command. So do this. If you are facing any problems while installing or while typing this command, just let me know. So we will see this. See, actually it's installed. Maintenance speed is good. Okay, so yeah, it's installed. Now, if I want to run this project, okay, how will I run it? Okay, first of all, project is created as a store project. Okay, so if I do ls or dir in the Windows, then you will see store folder is created here. Okay, first of all, I need to go to that folder. So let's go to that folder, cd store, because my project is inside the store folder. Okay, now how can I run my project? So you can type two commands. Okay, either of those commands. Okay, one is ng serve. Okay, ng serve. You can type ng serve. This will create a build and it will run your project on localhost colon 4200. Okay, and if you want to open the browser when the build is created, you can type -o so that automatically the browser will be open. Okay, it will take some time. First of all, it will ask you this question, then click no. Yeah. This will take some time. Till that time, you can install Angular and all. See, it has opened the browser and you will see this page. Okay. So if you see this page, that means your Angular project has been created successfully. Okay. And you can see it's compiled successfully here. Okay. So this is how you can install a project and you can run a project. So you can type in this command ngserve -o. If on your machine, if this command is not running, you can also type npm start. Okay, npm start internally runs ngserve. See, okay, what npm start does is it creates a node environment, and in that node environment, it runs this command. So in that node environment, it will find the ng command. Sometimes in the Windows system, you will not be able to find this ng command on the command prompt itself. So you can type in using npm start. Okay. This will also do the same thing, but it will not open the browser because you can see it is only running ngserve, not ngserve -o. Okay. So, but yeah, you can type in localhost colon 4200 in the browser address and you will be able to see this page. Okay. So till this, we will stop here. Okay. And then in the next lecture, we will see the actual Angular directory structure and the rest of the stuff. Okay. And then we will start our Angular.
Can you add last two commands?
Can you?
Okay. Can you add last two commands?
Last two commands. Okay. Sure. So ng serve -o. This will basically serve your server and open the browser itself. If you don't want to open the browser, just type ng serve. Okay. And if your ng command is not working in the command prompt, type in npm start. This will create a node environment for you, and in that node environment, it will run this ng command. Okay. Then it will go. So you can use either of this command. Right? It's not necessary to use all of this. You can use either of. And to stop this, you can just type Control C. It will stop. Okay. I'll not be able to see the page here. If it is done, just let me know. Then we can stop. I'll just stop the recording. And if you have any trouble